Hello and welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today I'm going to talk about Smackdown. April 25th, 2025 is the Smackdown after WrestleMania. I will say that this Smackdown was better than both of the Smackdowns I've seen. But let's go ahead and get into it. There's not really much I have to talk about here. We are going to start with always the ladies. We had Tiffany Stratton. She was in the ring and she was basically talking about how she beat Charlotte, and she asked, I think they were in Fort Worth, Texas, and she asked them Texas, oh, what time is it, Fort Worth? And Tiffany time, and how she's ready to move on to different opponents and everything else like that. The simple after Mania, I just won, I kept my title championship promo, right? Out of all people who I expected to come out, it wasn't Jade Cargill, but apparently Jade Cargill came out and she starts talking about, she talks about Tiffany and how Tiffany and Charlotte's match works great and everything else, but she hasn't, and now that Naomi is in her past. By the way, earlier, Naomi and Nia Jax had an encounter backstage. Basically, Nia Jax told Naomi, look, Tiffany is mine, don't go after that championship and everything else like that. And Naomi just told her to proceed with caution with her and everything else like that. Anyways, he talked about Naomi not being in her past and everything else. And I'm like, this is WWE. Ain't no one in your past. Ever. Ever. It's like the internet. It lasts forever. The drama is going to continue until it's not. Anyways, right? Jade Cargill comes over and she's like basically saying all this other stuff. By the way, Jade Cargill sucks at promos. Like she sounds like she is reading something. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. It's just, wow. Okay. I mean, she looked good. I'll give her that. But anyways, he challenged Tiffany, and Tiffany said let's go right now. So they had a match for the title, and I'm just like, really? Okay, sure. Anyway, so they had their match, and it was it was okay. I'll be nice. Okay. But it ended in disqualification. Naomi comes out and attacks Jade after, I think they had like this thing where the two ladies fell out or whatever, and they both hit each other at the same time or some shit like that, and Tiffany ends up rolling out the ring, and Jade got attacked by Naomi, and Naomi beat the crap out of Jade, and then Tiffany goes into the ring and she's face to face with Naomi, and Naomi is like, I don't want none, right? Because I already said I wasn't gonna mess with you. Naomi blacked out. No, not blacked out. Wow. Backed out of the ring, and then Nia Jax attacks Tiffany as Naomi is watching and everything else like that. She gave her the Annihilator in the corner, gets the title and lifts it up in the air. So I'm guessing it's going to be Nia Jax versus Tiffany at Backlash. It wasn't said, but I mean, Backlash, and usually it's just doing old opponents that you had before. I don't know why Nia Jax, but I mean between Charlotte and Nia, I guess whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte somehow gets in there as well. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Not looking forward to that match. Anyways, more latest stuff. We had the Women's United States title being defended. Chelsea Green defended her title against Zelina Vega. This was a pretty good match, pretty decent match. There was a lot of interference from Chelsea Green's cabinet. What's it called? I forgot what the name is. But anyway, Piper and Alba were getting involved and everything else. So much so that the ref finally saw Piper trip up Zelina Vega, and he kicked both Piper and Alba Fighter out of the ringside. So it was just a one-on-one with Chelsea versus Zelina Vega. Chelsea tried to take advantage over Zelina, watching Piper and Alba leave, but she brought the best and everything else. She put Chelsea Green into a code red which is one of her finishers. And 1, 2, 3, we have a new Women's United States title, which is also Selena's first title. So that's great. Congratulations to her on that. I can't see what's going to happen with her on that belt. So let's go to some men's stuff. Next we had The Miz. The Miz is backstage with Carmelo Hayes and pretty much gifted him with a necklace with some, I think, Andre the Giant's head on it or something like that. It was weird. Anyways, he gave it to him and all that other stuff. They're all dressed in white and all everything else. He was like, The Miz told Carmelo Hayes that he inspired him to do something, and he's gonna go out there into the ring and he's gonna talk to the people and all that other stuff. And Carmelo Hayes was like, let me come with you. He's like, no, I got this. You go out, you stay back here and celebrate. You know, you earned it, you deserved it, right? So The Miz comes out. The Miz starts talking about how Randy Orton's opponent at WrestleMania was an internet meme wrestler. They didn't mention any name, but if you didn't know, if you didn't watch, it was Joe Henry, and how he could have been the match and everything else, and he would have lost and other stuff like that. He said a bunch of stuff. I really didn't care what The Miz was having to say, because I was just waiting for something to happen. And it happened. The lights go out. There's candles everywhere. And then you see the lights come back on, and there you see fucking Aleister Black, Indian style. And I'm like, yes, he's back. Oh my god. Right. The sad part is the crowd didn't have like too much of a reaction. And I mean, I guess I get it, because Aleister Black did not really have much of a run on the main roster. Like NXT, he was fucking killing it. And then like when he got to like the main roster, like fucking pretty much he was in like a fucking closet talking about fight me, because that's where Vince McMahon put him at and stuff like that. So no wonder why he fucking left, went to AEW and went Malachi Black and everything else. But so I'm hoping that Triple H does fucking amazing job with him and stuff like that. Anyways, so there wasn't that much reaction. There were some people calling welcome back, but it wasn't like as loud as you thought it would be. But I guess that's not really Aleister Black's fault. And I'm pretty sure that we have Triple H will probably, because I think that Aleister Black is a Triple H guy anyway, so Triple H is probably going to elevate him and stuff like that. And it's good that he's going to be going up against The Miz, because The Miz is very popular. People don't like The Miz. People think they're, oh my god, Miz is overrated, Miz is too overshown. But if you're trying to get your name out, you probably want to go through The Miz, right? He is, as someone called him, the gatekeeper. Anyways, The Miz was like, who the hell? And before he finished his sentence, Aleister Black gave him the black mask, which is like a roundhouse kick to the face, and down goes Miz. That was pretty much the end of that segment and everything else like that. And I think next week The Miz has a match with Aleister Black, so can't wait to see him in the ring. So glad he's fucking back. Welcome back, Aleister Black. Selena Vega must be on cloud 9 right now. She just won her first title. Her husband's back on the same brand as she is. Good on her, man. Good on her. But you know what I really reason why I want like Aleister Black and Rusev? Because I missed them on Up Up Down Down. Okay, alright, I'm just saying. Like they were hilarious, especially Rusev. I love them on Up Up Down Down. I want him to go on that show and everything else. I know they wouldn't put him on there because he was working for the other company, but now he works for this company. Put these people back on Up Up Down Down. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Now if we can only get Adam Cole. We can just get Adam Cole over here on our side, and the rest of the United this Undisputed Era over here. Oh my gosh, I'll be on cloud freaking 9. Oh, and Cesaro. We need Cesaro back. And Cesaro. Can we get those guys back too? Oh my goodness gracious. It'd be fucking great. But anyways, I'm fucking living in a wrestling fantasy world right now. Let's go ahead and move on. We had the debut premiere of Fraxium, the tag team. Nathan Frazier and I forgot the other guy's name. They fought Los Ganza. What the fuck is their name? Some Spanish word. Anyways, they won. It was a really good match, real fast paced. I think it was like 9 minutes. I could have watched another, like, that was a good match. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad they're getting new tag teams. We need more. But they did an awesome job. So we had the promo for John Cena. John Cena actually started the show, and he told the ring announcer that once again he messed up his name, and the ring announcer said, said my apologies. I was being disrespectful. The new name is John Cena, the greatest of all time, never seen, number 17, something, last real champion. Anyways, John Cena was about to say something, and then Randy Orton's music hits, and Randy Orton comes out, and Randy Orton is basically talking about how, like, in a few months, him and John Cena are gonna be knowing each other for like 25 years. That's the first time they shook hands 25 years ago, and everything else, and how, like, this is not how, like, for the last 25 years up until recently, John Cena has been about hustle, loyalty, and respect. It wasn't just a monologue. It's how he lived. It's how, like, he lived his life. How, like, because of him, children all around the world, they did better because of him, because of how he inspired children better to be, like, better students, sports, and the family, etc., etc., etc. He talked about how, like, he went on and on about that, and he talked about how, like, that was not just a number to him. I know it's not just a number to him. That he talked about John Cena's Make-A-Wish, that he did the most of everyone ever, and all this other stuff. And he, like, told John, like, John, I think you have a void in your life, and I think you need to fill out that void. I think you need to go have some kids. You need some babies, John. You need to have some babies. You need little baby Cenas running around. And I started laughing. I'm like, wow. Because I believe John Cena said I think John Cena in the interview said the reason why he doesn't have children is because he didn't think he can give them the time or something like that. Anyways, back to the thing, right? And then Cena's like, he said some things, right? But basically he was like, how dare you parent shame me? I'm like, oh God, parent shame. I'm like, don't give these lips a new word. Like, anyway, so he's like, don't parent shame me. And he's like, you have your family, you love your kids, that's fine. So the reason why I don't have children is because I have been raising for the last 25 years other people's children, right? Yours children. And talks to the audience, right? I don't care about these children no more and stuff like that. And says by the looks of things, I did a great job, right? I'm a better parent to the parents of their own freaking children and stuff like that. He started saying other things and everything else. John Cena also mentioned about, like, how there's like the hard cam with that's the camera that usually the wrestlers face when they're doing promos in the ring. There's like the hard cam. That's the main camera, right? But he turned around, like, he's faced the audience, and he was like saying, like, telling some 6-year-old kid that his dad is a loser and he's a better parent to him than his dad is. And apparently John Cena says, oh look, the 6-year-old flipped me off and everything else like that. Now I don't know if this actually happened or not, because we couldn't see the kid. But if it was, that's funny. Anyways, and he's like, see, that's why I'm not a parent. Brats like that. And I'm just like, that's that kid, John. Wouldn't be your kid, right? Anyways, whatever. And stuff like that. He went on and talking about, like, these people manipulate him and everything else like that, and they still cheer his name, and they still let's go Cena sucks, and they did it, and all this other stuff, blah 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 blah. And then Randy Orton is like, he's in frustration. He's like, oh, I'm so stupid. I thought maybe I can actually get some words into that thick skull of yours, but you're not listening to anything that I'm saying to you at all. It's like you just have this no clue at all. It's funny how now you're a bad guy and I'm a good guy now, but here we are and all other stuff like that. You're gonna say, like, you're gonna ruin wrestling. He's like talked about Cody Rhodes' song in the beginning when Cody Rhodes says there's more than one royal family in wrestling or whatever. That fucking quote is that he says in his song. He said, "That's me. I am fucking a wrestling family." Like, basically, which, may I mention that his dad and his grandfather, and I think somebody else is a wrestler and stuff like that. So yeah, he said that he's been involved with wrestling since he came out the womb. Anyways, he said he ain't gonna let him do the rest and stuff. Then he was about to talk some more, and John Cena told him, "Shut your mouth. Here's the reality. I got number 17. You're at 14. When I retire with this title, they're gonna have another title. It's gonna be some tinfoil title that don't really mean anything, and that means you will have to start over back to 1 again, because this is going to, look at me, this is the last real champion." Now, I was like, oh, okay, damn, okay. And then Randy Orton was like, "Oh, you're the last real champion. Prove it. Put your title on the line right here, right now." And John Cena's like, "No." Because he's a heel. Heels don't like to fucking fight, right? He's like, "No. I will not do it here. We will do it at Backlash." Which, by the way, I've mentioned that Backlash is in St. Louis, Missouri. And that is where Randy Orton's from. Like, we're going to do it in St. Louis, Missouri. You're from St. Louis, Missouri. You can spend time with your family, get plenty of rest. Because when I beat you and you failed, which you will, the failures will be all on you, basically. I mean, they said a lot of stuff. They went a lot of stuff back and forth, and I'm missing a ton of it. But it's like really late. I'm doing this on, and yeah. So I will put the link to the promo down below. Anyway, they did that. John Cena pretty much sucker punched Randy Orton and pretty much beat him down to the mat, and he's beating him up and everything else like that. John Cena gets his title, and he looks, and he's about to hit Randy Orton with the title. Randy Orton pretty much gets up, he ducks and gives him an RKO, picks up the title, gets on the sticker ropes, and holds it up high in the air. Looks good. So we now know that John Cena versus Randy Orton, which was pretty much obvious. Randy Orton versus John Cena, iconic matches they've had in the past. These two are like heavy rivalries. If you look back, especially back in the PG era days, all these two every day was fight each other. I don't think they fought anybody else. I think the only time they actually fought together when they fought the whole like Raw roster one time, but other than that, yeah, it should be an interesting match. Now, I don't know how interesting it's going to be. I'm hoping it's better than that wrestling match with Cody Rhodes. I don't know how, because I think Cody Rhodes is a great wrestler. I know John Cena is, like, as Tim would call it, ring rust. But hopefully, I don't know, maybe it can get better. Not really expecting much, but we'll see. Let me just say something, because I heard something. I don't know if it's 100% true, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I heard later on in the year there's supposed to be a tag match between John Cena and Travis Scott, yes, that Travis Scott, versus Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny. Now, as far as celebrity wrestlers that've been on the show, especially at WrestleMania, which, by the way, there was no celebrity wrestler. I guess you want to call Joe Henry one, but there was no celebrity wrestlers. But as far as like Bad Bunny is great. Like, he is great. He was fucking fantastic at WrestleMania when he was tagging with Damian Priest versus Miz and John Morrison. He was great at what's it called? Backlash. When Backlash was in Puerto Rico, was against Damian Priest. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens if this is true. And I'm probably thinking maybe SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is 2 nights, so I could maybe see that, thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. We shall see. But it's interesting. And I haven't seen Bad Bunny. I don't know about see Travis Scott. I don't know about that. But, I mean, Bad Bunny. And then we can actually get a proper a proper receipt for Travis Scott, Cody Rhodes, like kick him in the nuts or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Also, by the way, I don't ever want to see The Rock again in WWE unless he's actually going to stay. But the only time that I do want to see The Rock is Cody Rhodes giving his receipt, because Cody Rhodes owes The Rock. But anyway, enough of that. Later on, backstage, John Cena's walking out, and this is the first time we finally get an encounter with R-Truth and John Cena. Well, R-Truth is like, congratulations on winning the title. Really proud of you. If you need anything, let me know, right? I'm so happy for you and all this other stuff. And John Cena just looked at him and then walked away. So I'm like, okay, seed planted finally. Then Jimmy Uso comes out and he's like, dude, can you believe how he's acting? R-Truth is like, there's two sides to every story, right? He's my childhood hero. I love him. And he's like, when I grow up, I want to be just like John Cena. And then Jimmy, like, R-Truth is leaving, and Jimmy screaming out, but you're already grown. You're already an adult. And I'm just like, Jimmy, really? Is he really? Is he really an adult? Right? You might want to, like, rephrase that or take that back or something like that. Or anything else like that. But this is what I need. Because I've been saying it for the longest time. If John Cena wants to get some real heat, needs to attack R-Truth. He should have attacked R-Truth before WrestleMania, right? But I guess he wants people, because I mean, people are still cheering for fucking John Cena, which that's fine. Usually they just cheer for the heels anyway nowadays, so. But if John Cena's looking for some real heat, like some actual fucking real heat, that he wants people to fucking actually boo him, attack R-Truth, because R-Truth, everybody loves Truth, and once you fucking kick Truth's ass, you might get that fucking heat. They might be like, oh my goodness gracious, you know, people might get mad. You might get that fucking heat, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, the last thing I want to talk about was an awesome TLC match. The Street Profits defended titles against DIY. Ciampa had no beard. He had no beard. I think they said that he had some kind of like surgery and had to shave his beard or something shit like that. I don't know, but it looked weird. He reminded me of like one of my 8th grade teachers. One of my middle school teachers. I think it was 8th grade teacher. Versus the Motor City Machine Guns, sorry. This match was so fucking good. This match, now I understand why this match was on Smackdown, because it gave them plenty of time to go through the fucking match and everything else like that. And I think if they were on WrestleMania, they probably would have had half the time that they had here. But man, oh man, this match should have been at WrestleMania. This was fucking incredible. Now, if you had watched, if you're old enough, if you have seen some matches from the TLC matches back in the day with Edge and Christian, the Hardys and the Dudleys, you would see some like good spots from this match from back then. Also, the match between Diesel, aka Kevin Nash, and Shawn Michaels, where I think was it Shawn Michaels that got a prosthetic leg and started beating on Diesel, with the other way around. Anyways, Montez Ford took some person's prosthetic leg and started beating Ciampa with it and everything else. I was like, oh my god, everything was just so fucking good about this match. The spots, everything. It was so fucking action packed. Fucking loved it. I think I like watched it. Like I watched it on this fucking show live, and then I watched it again on Smackdown. So damn, I'm not Smackdown. I mean on WWE's channel on YouTube. So damn freaking good. You did that famous spot where fucking Edge speared Devon from the top. You remember, like, I don't know if I've seen it or not. Devon was holding on to the tag titles when they're in the ring, when the hooks are on the fucking hook thing, and he's sitting there and fucking from the ladder to Devon. He did Edge did a spear. So you had it was Ciampa. Ciampa was up there holding on to the belts, and the machine guns had set up a table underneath him, and you had Dawkins, of all people. Dawkins goes out there and he spears him off the belt into the fucking the tables. It was such a fucking beautiful spot. It was so fucking good. Like, oh my god, again, could have been on WrestleMania, but I understand this was commercial free for like a good 25 minutes at least. It was so fucking good. Oh my god, so fucking good. Best main event that Smackdown has had in such a fucking long time. My god, kudos to you guys. It was such great. The Profits end up retaining their titles when all three men, Shelly from Machine Guns, Johnny from DIY, and Montez Ford are all on the ladder. And pretty much Montez Ford got rid of both of them, got the belts, and you know, they celebrated and everything else. They celebrated in the ring. It was great because they gave, because usually when these happen, like, they don't, it's not on Netflix can keep going on, whatever, right? Where Smackdown is on USA, there's a time limit, but they gave it pretty much time. You can look at the highlight. They did some highlights, they did some spots and everything else. You can have the chance to breathe and take it all in, right? It was great. The Street Profits were celebrating with the what do you fucking call it? The audience. It was a good time. It was a great time. I really just enjoyed the match. I don't know what's going. I don't know if that's the end of all three of these guys and stuff like that, but it was all six of these guys actually. I meant like 3 teams. All 6 of these guys, but I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the better Smackdowns. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It has been a hell of a week. I've been making a fucking lot of videos. My voice is going. I am taking the rest of the weekend off. I'm gonna relax. I'm kind of gonna sleep in, just kick up my feet, you know, just. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye. Okay, so I forgot to mention about Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu talks about beating LA Knight and becoming the champion. Actually, Solo was telling the audience to have some respect for what's his face, Jacob Fatu, saying that, you know, give him love and everything like that. And Jacob Fatu pretty much did Solo, saying that he was gonna beat LA Knight with Solo or without Solo, and he didn't need Solo and everything else. I think Solo was kind of pissed off about that a little bit. He didn't really show it, but yeah. You had Jacob Fatu basically just saying that, you know, anyone needs to step up, you know, he's all gas, no brakes, and everything else. And then you had LA Knight come out, and basically LA Knight, he was just talking about how he wants his rematch, because I guess it's in his clause, and he wants to get his title back. And then you had Drew McIntyre come out. Drew McIntyre was like, you know, I was gonna go after John, but Randy Orton jumped in line. It's like nepotism. The nepo babies always get, you know, their chance and everything else. That word of the year is nepo babies. Anyways, so, you know, he talked about LA Knight, he talked about Damian Priest a little bit. He talked about LA Knight, that the last time he had his last title run was a joke, and LA Knight was like, well, I would make fun of your title run, but I don't remember when it was, and stuff like that. And it was like they're going back and forth, and you know, it's other stuff, and he's like, well, I'm gonna get this title and everything else. And Nick Aldis comes out and he basically says that he made a match for the #1 contender for the US title. So they had their match, and at the one part of the match, Solo helps Drew McIntyre. I think I think the referee was distracted by something. I can't remember what, and Solo put him with Samoan spikes, LA Knight. Now Drew McIntyre was kind of hesitant because, you know, he still wants payback on Solo because Solo was the one who caused him the title at the castle at like 22? Was it 22 or 23? I can't remember. I think it's 22. Anyways, so he was hesitant, but eventually he said hell with it, and it was about to Claymore kick LA Knight, but then Damian Priest comes in and the match was disqualified. Damian Priest choke slams Drew McIntyre onto the announce desk. The announce desk breaks. He's about to walk out the ring. LA Knight's get in his face. LA Knight's like, what are you doing? Everything else. I got a match and all this other stuff. Then Jacob Fatu pretty much suicide dives on them from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring, and he throws both of them in the ring, gives them the mighty moonsault on both of them, and pretty much held the title up high and everything else. Now I don't know that if Jacob saw what Solo did when he had Drew McIntyre giving him the help and everything like that, so I don't know if that is going to come into play. I could probably see a triple threat match between Jacob, Drew, and LA Knight, maybe even a four-way. You add Damian Priest in there. I don't know why would you do that, but I could see it happening and stuff like that. Very interested to see what happens, but yeah, that was it, and that's all. I'm really leaving this time. Okay, bye.